Segment, here we learn impromptu speaking technique. To conduct this most exciting segment, we have an exciting personality. He is none other than Nuclear Sajid Ibrahim. He is also part of XCOM Term 2 for Sergeant Arms. Please help me welcome Nuclear Sajid Ibrahim to conduct the table topic session.
Youth Leader of the Day. Thanks for that generous introduction. Youth Leader of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, yes, a very warm good evening to all of you. I feel elated to be your table topics master. The purpose of table topics is to sharpen our communication skills, listening, thinking, organizing, and speaking on the field. The time allotted is a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes 30 seconds, after which you will be disqualified. With this, now I invite our first speaker to talk on the selected topic. Our first speaker is Youth Leader Ammar Hussain. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Ammar Hussain to the stage. The topic given to you is, if you could be anyone in the whole world, who would you be and why? If you could be anyone in the whole world, who would you be and why? Youth Leader Ammar Hussain.
Am I audible at the back?
Yes.
People will forget what you said, but people will remember what you explained. Respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, and distinguished guests, good evening.
Good evening.
The topic given to me is, if you could exchange with someone in the whole world, who could it be? I would say I would like to exchange with my father. Because every time, whenever he comes back from his office, he always calls me like, Amar, come here. When I go to him, he would say me, my legs are really paining, please massage them. And I would be like, no dad, I won't. And I would walk away. I want to know the reason why his legs are paining. He would say me, I'm working really hard in the office. I don't believe him. Like, I would say, I am also learning a lot in school. I want to say him that I learn a lot in school. But still he would say me, he would force me to massage his legs. And then I would think that what if I want to know what my dad does in this office. Because it always gives me a question in my mind that why he is always forcing me to massage him or help him in any way. So at last I want to conclude by saying that if I want to exchange someone in my life, it would be my dad. Over to you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Ammar. Our second speaker is Richa Santosh. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Richa Santosh to the podium. The topic given to you is, who do you think is the most successful person in the world? Why? Who do you think is the most successful person in the world? Why? Youth leader Richa Santosh.
Respected Toastmasters, distinguished guests, dear parents, and my fellow youth leaders. A warm good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
Who do I think is the most successful person in my life? The most successful person I think in my life is my mom. A mom's hardship, you can never express how hard it is to be a mom. Every day she wakes up early for me and my siblings, works hard in the kitchen, makes lunch, and she thinks she works hard and she serves the best food you can ever get to my parent, to my dad, to me, to my sister, and to my brother. And when we are going to school, she cleans up the whole house. Who else does this? If my mom asks me to clean up my room, it takes me at least 6 hours to clean up my room. And my mom, she really have a kind heart. The hardships she went through her whole life to become a nurse, she went to Delhi and then became a nurse in ICU. She worked hard. When we were a child, she worked hard and she also served us. And then when my brother was born, she came home and she quit her job just because she wanted to take care of her children. That's why I would say the most successful person in my life would be my mom.
Thank you, youth leader Richa. The third speaker is youth leader Sai Aishwarya. Please help me welcome youth leader Sai Aishwarya to the podium, please. The topic given to you is, what bad habits do you have that you want to change? What bad
Am I audible at the back?
Yes.
Everyone has their flaws, and I have a lot of them. Toastmasters, parents, children, and my dear fellow youth leaders. I have several flaws and several bad habits that I would like to change, but the most prominent one would be time management. This is because for the past several days, I've been sleeping. As soon as I get home, I rush to my bed and sleep for about 4 hours. I wake up at 12 a.m. and I go back to sleep at 3 a.m., giving me a total amount of 3 hours of sleep. With that, I have to go to school, grade all the tests and all the projects, with all that fatigue building up inside me. Some of the reasons that I have this bad habit of time management is my love for reading. Yes, I am an ardent reader. Being an ardent reader has many strengths, but also has its weaknesses, as it makes me read for the late hours of night, and it doesn't give me enough sleep. And coming back to time management, another branch that swirls around in my life is tests and preparation for tests. I wait till the absolute last minute to study for my exams, building up all that stress and pressure, and having to face exams is a horrific experience. So that would be, I would like to change, would be my time management skills, and the lack of them, therefore.
Next we have Youth Leader Sadia Fatima. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Sadia Fatima to the podium. Better, life in KSA. I repeat, is better, life in India or life in KSA? Youth Leader Sadia Fatima.
Am I audible at the back?
Yes.
Respected Toastmasters, esteemed parents, and my dear fellow youth leaders, a warm good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
So the topic given to me today is where the life is better, in India or KSA? I know most of you believe that life in KSA is easier and better, but I think that the life in India is better because there's nothing to work, maid comes, works, and goes off. But here, when I come from the school, when I return back, my mother doesn't even allows me to sweep the home, to clean up the room, and let me tell you that my room is really the worst thing. The life in India, maid comes, she cleans my room, goes off, but here my mother won't allow me. Second thing, life in India is very enjoyable because almost all of the cousins are settled in India, but here we are all alone. To live in room, and the only person you can enjoy is with your siblings. Let me tell you that my siblings are really very annoying, both elder and younger. They don't even play with me, and because they both of them are boys, they take one side, and I have to battle with them one. Both elder and younger brother. I am the one trapped in the middle. So I think life is better in India rather than in KSA.
Sadia Fatima. Next we have Youth Leader Mustafa Zia. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Mustafa Zia. Who do you love more, your father or your mother? Why? I repeat, who do you love more, your father or your mother? Why? Youth Leader Mustafa Zia.
I'm audible at the back.
Yes.
Respected TT Master, Toastmasters, youth leaders, and lovely guests, good evening.
Good evening.
So topic given to me is, who do I love more, my father or mother? It is but a bit more my mother. She is a very hard-working woman. All
always take care about me and supports me when I cry or I'll be like almost to faint because I'm really scared of stage fear. But I can now spell you just 18. My mother is always like me down. As I'm in 9th standard, my friends tease me. Like, why your mother comes always? You're grown up. You can take care of yourself. So I to conclude by saying that I love my mother more than my father. Over to you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Fazia. Next, we have Youth Leader Fahad Amjad Kamal. What makes you happy and why? I repeat, what makes you happy and why? Youth Leader Fahad Amjad Kamal.
Am I audible at the back? Yes. Respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, and all the wonderful guests, a very warm good evening to everyone. Good evening. There's a lot of things that makes me happy, but one thing that I do every time, every single week, is watching football. But there's always an obstacle to everything. And my parents do not want me to watch anything. They just want me to sit and study. Like, it's the most boring thing on earth, studying. But there's also one thing that I don't like. It's when my father drags me into the car and then the whole lecture session starts. He starts lecturing me on things and you can't go anywhere. You're stuck in the car. You just have to listen to everything. Can't just go out because that wouldn't be good, right? You get injured. And there's also another thing that I like a lot. Helping my parents. Now I know I just said that lecturing my father does and I don't like it. But they've supported me a lot. They've helped me a lot through everything. And they've guided me through stuff. And my father, even though his lectures are a bit boring sometimes, they could really have a great impact on me. And therefore, to conclude, I like two things. I hate one thing. The two things that I do like is watching football and helping out my parents. The one thing that I hate, the lectures. Over to you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Fahad. Please give a thunderous round of applause for all the table topics. Can I have the timer support, please?
Alright, 45.
Over to the Youth Leader Fahad.
Now it is time for second table topic session, which will be conducted by Youth Leader Murugan Sagar. He is Secretary of the present EXCOM. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Murugan Sagar to the podium for conducting the second part of table topic session.
Table topic master is much easier. Dear fellow Mr. Youth Leader of the day, fellow youth leaders, distinguished guests, a very warm good evening to one and all. I feel euphoric to be your table topic master. Table topic master, thanks for that generous introduction. Please be reminded that the time allotted, after which you'll be disqualified. With this, now I invite the first speaker to talk on the selected topics. Our first speaker is a very jolly person. Help me welcome Youth Leader Afifa Abta to the podium, please. Right? What do you prefer? True friends or $100K? Youth leader.
Am I audible at back?
Yes.
Respected Toastmasters, Chief YLP Coordinator, my fellow youth leaders, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
So, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Don't you agree with the statement?
Yes.
So the topic which is given to me is, what would you prefer? True friends or $100K? True friends, because they can help us if we are in trouble, and they will always be with us. But money will not be with us always. And true friends can also help us to achieve money, $100K. But the dollars cannot help us in achieving a true friends. And true friends can help us in achieving everything we want. They are humble and can help us in every situation. But money will not give happiness and will not help you to achieve success. So I would like to conclude by telling that I would prefer true friends but not money, because true friends are the friends who will always be with you, and money will not be always with you. Thank you.
Second speaker is Atif Aftab to the podium, please. Title: Where will you go if you get a chance to roam around the earth, and why? Youth leader Atif Aftab, where will you go if you get a chance to roam around the earth, and why?
Am I audible at the back?
Yes.
Respected Toastmasters, YLP Chief Coordinator, and all my fellow youth leaders, a very warm good evening, one and all. Today, the topic which is given to me is, where will I go if I get a chance to roam around the world? And that is nothing. But if the question would have asked me before 3 years or 4 years, then I would have preferred to go to come to Makkah and Medina, because this is the place where I am religiously and emotionally attached with. But now, I would prefer to go to Antarctica, because I want to see the penguins, and I have heard that their size is very small, which we like something very small which we can't imagine. So really, I want to see their sizes and all, and I want to enjoy in the ice and have a good time there. And I want to live there for 2 or 3 days, so that I can enjoy my life in a very good way. So I would like to conclude my speech by saying that if this question would have asked me before 3 years, then I would have preferred Makkah. But now I would prefer Antarctica. Thank you. Over to you.
That was such an amazing speech, right? So let's move on to the next table topic speaker. He's a very funny person. So help me welcome youth leader Salman Abdul Rahim to the podium, please. What are the things a person should have to be considered a good person, and why? Youth leader Salman Abdul Rahim, what are the things in a person should have to be considered a good person and why?
Am I audible at the back?
Yes.
Am I audible at the back?
Yes.
Respected Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and fellow youth leaders. Very warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
So the topic I got is what makes a person good and why? What is the reason behind it? So the reason behind it, a person should be good. That's the first thing. And he should have humanitarian aspects. Those are being humble, being kind, giving to the poor, etc., etc. And the person should be beautiful inside and the outside. Those are the things that I think makes a person a good person. So I would like to conclude my speech by saying a person to be considered as a good person should have humanitarian aspects of being kind, humble, and giving.
Thanks for such a nice piece, Youth leader Salman Abdul Rahim. So let's move on to the next table topic speaker. He is a very funny person. As you all help me welcome Youth leader Amma Yani to the podium, please. Explain your first mistake in your life.
Respected Toastmasters, TT Master, guests, and fellow youth leaders. A very warm good evening to all of you. I got the topic to explain my first mistake. You know, like when I will go now, I just scam the wall and go erase. Or else I will sometimes I will think and go and my brother will come and smash me. What is this? So usually I make many mistakes. But the first mistake was that why I smashed my brother. When I smashed my brother, no, it was my first and last mistake. He punched me like this my toothpick. So the next mistake, if I'm going to do no, so please stop me, okay? I want to conclude my speech by saying that the first mistake was I smashed my brother, which the next morning I was in the hospital. Thank you. Over to you.
That is such a humorous speech, right?
Yes.
Help me welcome Youth leader Saksham Mittal to the podium, please. What is the thing which you will never regret in your life? Youth leader Saksham Mittal, what is the thing which you will never regret in your life?
Am I audible at the back? Yes. Speaking in public is really a dangerous task. That is why those masters have created for young generations while respecting those masters, lovely parents, and euphoric youth leaders. Good evening. The topic given to me is which would be the one thing that I will never regret in my life. So, the one thing that I would never regret in my life would be joining YLP.
YLP always helps us speak in front of public. Actually, it is the base of speaking in the front of public. We can even join more programs, but without YLP, we can't. I already shared my many experiences that I can't stand in front of public or speak in front of them. But still, after joining YLP, I can speak in front of them. There are many humorous incidents, and also while preparing my icebreaker, I remember when I memorized the speech. I was reciting the speech. The speech was completely flat. There was no voice modulation. So, while seeing the expression on my father's face, it was such a scary expression. He told, "Can you win the speech competition?" "I don't think so you can. This is a very nice speech. Please don't ruin it." But due to my mentors and my sister's hard work, I won the speech competition. So, I would conclude by saying that joining YLP is the one thing that I would never regret in my life. Over to you.
That is such a nice piece, was it? Yes. Let's move on to our last speaker, who is a very funny and interactive person. Help me welcome you, clear Asad Khan to the podium, please. Is it only money that you all need in your life to be successful? You need Asad Khan. Is it only money that you need in your life to be successful?
Am I audible at the back? Yes. Well, a person can fail 1,000 times, but he can succeed only once. Respected Toastmasters, dear parents, lovely children, and fellow youth leaders, a very warm good evening to all of you. Well, for me, it's totally opposite. You need success to get money, not money to be a successful person. You see, if you are a successful person, you can earn money or you can earn money. But if you are already a successful person, you don't need extra money. You can get it because of success. So success is you can get money after success, but you cannot. It's not necessary to get money before success. So I'd like to conclude my speech by telling that you need success. Success to get.
Please give a round of applause to all the table topic speakers. Can I have timers report, please? All are qualified. May request youth leaders to cast their votes for their best table topic speaker. Dear audience, thanks for being such a wonderful and lively audience. Over to you, Mrs. Youth Leader of the Day.
Thank you to Shajin Ibrahim and to the Murugan Saga for conducting a very interactive session, and hope you enjoy the table topics. Please give a big round of applause for all the speakers. Who came to the podium and delivered the speech nicely. And further, I would like to thank the table topic master. Now we have reached our last part of the meeting, that is evaluation segment. For improvement, we need constructive feedback. So let us have expert comments from our general evaluator and her team. Public speaking and leadership are the skills that can be developed and improved. In Toastmasters, feedback is called evaluation. We should always give positive recommendations. Our general evaluator today is a true symbol of commitment and support, ever encouraging and dedicated youth leader, Youth Zohra Farooq. Please help me welcome Youth Zohra Farooq, evaluator.
Am I audible at the back? Yes. Thank you, youth leader Saleh Shan, for that wonderful introduction. Master, fellow youth leaders, distinguished guests, good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
Welcome you all to your fifth session, the evaluation session. Evaluation session is unique
An important session in the Toastmaster educational program. We talk to many people and do many things in our personal and professional life, but very seldom we get instant feedback, compassion, and motivating us. In youth leadership program, we give wonderful feedback to motivate the speaker and explain him or his areas of strength which we can capitalize further and areas which we need some extra attention. For evaluating the prepared and table topic speeches, I have tonight a very strong team of session staffs and very effective evaluators. To evaluate our first speech, we have very hardworking Rija Santosh. Please help me welcome youth leader Rija Santosh. Shifali Mahapatasol.
Am I audible at the back? Yes. General Evaluator, Youth Leader of the Day, respected Toastmasters, distinguished guests, dear parents, and my fellow youth leaders, and youth leadership Shefali in specific. A warm good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
Challenge the challenges. What a euphoric title to start off your speech. You just challenged your international speech to one step higher today. First of all, you did cover all the objectives for your speech. Second, as a speaker, no matter how much content you have, your voice is what matters to the audience. Your voice modulation, emotion, and power was on. You even changed your pitch when you started talking about your personal story, which you can do. Confidence was shown through your strong eye contact to each of the audience. The speech had a strong, the best word selection for the right speech. Nevertheless, we are all here to improve ourselves to a better level, and I'm here to help you take you one step higher. Your usage of the stage was a bit overboard. You kept moving around for each word you spoke. Second of all, when asking for an audience response, speak in a higher voice so that the audience at the back gets your attention and you have to wait for the response in a loud manner. If the response is vague and low, ask again so that you get a strong response. Other than that, your speech can be remembered as a euphoric one. If you include my suggestions in your future speeches, I suppose it will be one remarkable speech. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Youth Leader Rija Sandhus, for the constructive and effective evaluation. To evaluate the second speech, we have sweet Youth Leader Sai Ashwarya. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Sai Ashwarya to the podium to evaluate our speaker, Youth Leader Avilas Johan.
Blitzen General Evaluator, respected Toastmasters, parents, children, my dear fellow youth leaders, in specific, the euphoric youth leader of John, a warm evening to one and all. First off, I would like to wake up your heart, which was a very heartfelt speech, as you started your speech with a powerful quote on education, which is a vital part of everyone's lives. You then talked about the Maestro Beethoven and the Ninth Symphony. At this junction, you not only spoken words, but had conveyed the raw emotion Beethoven had faced with your impeccable facial expressions. You then transitioned to your love of playing keyboards and the obstacle you faced. The apt quotes you'd implanted here with your mom's quote on practice and your dad's quotes with Beethoven had been riddled with great body movement and hand gestures. Your conclusion had been about education and the need for that wake-up call. It connected to the quote you'd started with, and it had added to the seamless flow you had woven. Nevertheless, we're all here to improve and nurture our skills. My two humble recommendations would be for a little more voice modulation and a small pause when talking about Beethoven's anticipation. You could have also had a stronger call for action to the audience so your topic will forever be remembered in the hearts of the audience. Overall, you had great facial gestures and body movements with an amazing flow, delivered with an aura of exuberancy and confidence. But if you follow my humble recommendations of pausing and having more voice modulation, that one part, and call for action that is stronger, you will give your heartwarming speech more value.
Thank you, youth leader Sayeshwarya, for a constructive and effective evaluation. To evaluate the third speech, we have intelligent youth leader Afifa Aftab. Please help me welcome youth leader Afifa Aftab to evaluate our third speaker.
Eventually, everything falls into place until laugh at the confusion, live for the moments, and know everything happens for a reason. General Evaluator, respected Toastmasters, Chief YLP Coordinator, and valued guest, and my fellow youth leaders, good evening.
Good evening.
Youth Leader Yelva Santosh, your topic was Everything Happens for a Reason. Congratulations, Youth Leader Yelva, for successfully completion of your international speech. It was an amazing speech. You met the objective of the international speech. Let me analyze your speech. Your opening was wonderful. You opened the speech with powerful quotation, which helped to grab the attention of the audience. This is the best way to open a speech. After powerful opening, you entered in the body of the speech. You discussed about your dance performance and how you were able to settle with your teacher. You concluded your speech with a powerful message. It was a great speech. Let me list out your strength. Your eye contact was very good. Your voice was very pleasant. Use of the podium was perfect. Your English language was wonderful. Your delivery was very smooth. This shows you practiced this perfectly. Now, Youth Leader Yelva, we all are here and we have joined this program to improve ourselves. Therefore, I have few recommendations. In my humble opinion, you could add some more humor to your story. Some of your words were not clear. If you follow my humble recommendations, you will be a great speaker. Thank you and over to you.
Thank you, youth leader Afifa Aftab, for your constructive and effective speech evaluation. To evaluate the fourth speech, we have a smart youth leader Atif Aftab. Please help me welcome youth leader Atif Aftab to evaluate our fourth speaker, Yasir Ali Siddiqui.
Am I audible at the back? Respected Toastmasters, YLP Chief Coordinator, and all my fellow youth leaders, a very warm good evening to one and all. Art provides enough to satisfy every man's crave, but not every man's crave. A very good thought that grabs the audience attention. Congrats to Leader Yasir Ali Siddiqui for completing your international speech successfully. Now let me analyze your speech. You opened the speech with a powerful quotation, which helped to grab the audience attention. After an exuberant opening, you enter in the body of a speech to discuss about the conditions while your mother went to India, and then to discuss about the condition of the poor people who are starving from the food. You concluded your speech with a powerful message that we should not waste food and utilize it for the future. Let me list out your strengths. You are confident upon the podium. Your eye contact was excellent. Your gestures was outstanding. And overall, your speech was euphoric. As we all are here for improvement, I have some few humble recommendations for you. you could have a stand in the front to get more attention of the audience, and you could have avoid jumping on the podium. I think when you ask the questions to the audience, your voice modulation could be a bit better. If you will follow these recommendations, you will be a champion speaker in the future. So over to you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Atif Aftab, for your constructive and effective evaluation. To evaluate the fifth speech, we have Sweet Youth Leader Muhammad Faris Farooq. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Muhammad Faris Farooq to evaluate our fifth speech. Speaker, Youth Leader Kartika.
My father didn't teach me how to live. He lived and let me watch him do it. Respected General Evaluator, those General. Good evening. Good evening. A special good evening to Youth Leader YLP. First of all, let me congratulate you for delivering such a good speech. It was a marvelous speech. I enjoyed your speech and carefully listened to every single word. After all, I am an evaluator. Your plus points are: you had a great opening, body, and conclusion. You were very conscious on the podium. You tested the microphone before speaking. You have a blessed voice and very much audible to the entire audience. You conveyed your message clearly, which is the main intention of international speech. You had a melancholic voice. In Euclid's program, everybody has a room. That is room for improvement. I shall tell you two simple recommendations to empower your speech to higher levels. At times, you are looking down to recollect your speech. I clearly could understand that you didn't practice in front of your mentor. You could have practiced in front of your mentor. Also, practicing in front of a mirror will make you understand your mistakes. Transitions. You could have used the podium more efficiently. You could have walked and front back on the left or right. After all, it's all yours. Youth Leader Kartikeya, I enjoyed your speech very well. You delivered well on the podium. You met all the objectives of the speech. If you incorporate my recommendations in your upcoming speeches, you can be a great speaker in the future. Keep it up. This generally valid.
Thank you, Youth Leader Muhammad Faris Farooq, for a constructive and effective evaluation. To evaluate the sixth speech, we have a smart Youth Leader, Busha Shamim. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Busha Shamim to evaluate our sixth speaker, Youth Leader Rohan.
General Evaluator, Youth Leader of the Day, fellow Youth Leaders, respected parents, esteemed Toastmaster, and in particular Youth Leader Rohan PG, a very warm good evening. Good evening. Youth Leader Rohan PG, when you entered the podium, you were euphoric since you were going to give your international speech. And your topic was friendship, which is a very good topic to speak on, since everyone has friends. So now let me analyze your speech. First of all, I would like everyone to give a thunderous round of applause for such an amazing speech. You had a good balance of emotions in your speech. Your hand gestures and facial expressions were good. Youth Leader Rohan PG, we are here for some improvements, so in my humble opinion, I would like to give you some recommendations. You could have used the stage in a proper manner. I mean, you were continuously walking on the stage. Other than that, you could have moved in bits with some pauses. You could have made your speech more effective with voice modulation. If you follow my humble recommendations, you will be a great speaker tomorrow. Over to you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Busha, for a constructive and effective evaluation. To evaluate the seventh speech, we have a smart personality, Youth Leader Fahad Amjad Kamal. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Fahad Amjad Kamal to evaluate the seventh speaker, Rohan Joseph.
Honesty is the first chapter of the Book of Wisdom. Quote delivered by Youth Leader Joseph. General Evaluators, wonderful guests, and all my dear fellow youth leaders. Good evening once again.
Good evening.
First of all, congratulations Youth Leader Rohan Joseph for successfully completing your international speech and meeting all the objectives. You had 2 anecdotes in your speech which hooked us onto your speech and they were good. You had narrated an incident in which Ammar had cheated Suresh of his gold coins. You also said that you never lie, and when the cashier asked you how old your brother was, you said the right age and didn't lie just for money. This proves that even money cannot corrupt you, and you believe that honesty is the best policy. Your gestures were on point. They kept us engaged in your speech. But as the old adage goes, the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. I felt that you could have used the left and the right parts of the stage more for certain points of his speech. In my humble opinion, you could have also used a more powerful conclusion and further emphasized your message. To conclude, your speech was wonderfully delivered and had a wonderful structure. I, for one, really enjoyed it. I hope that it makes everyone an honest person. And I also believe that you can become a great speaker.
Thank you, Youth Leader Fahad Amjad Kamal, for a constructive and effective evaluation. Now, let us move to our table topic evaluation. To evaluate our table topic speaker, please help me welcome Youth Leader Saksham Mittal to evaluate our 1 to 4 speaker.
Miss General Evaluator, respected Toastmasters, lovely parents, and my fellow youth leaders and euphoric table topic speakers in particular. Good evening. Good evening. Youth Leader Ammar Hussain, you had a flow in your speech. You were confident while speaking and you delivered it very nicely. However, in my humble recommendations, you could take time before starting your speech so that you can fumble less in future. Also, you could give a conclusion to your speech. Overall, you did a great job. Youth Leader Richa, you were confident on the stage. You had voice modulation in your speech. However, in my humble opinion, you can give a conclusion to your speech. You had an abrupt ending. Please don't do it. Overall, you did a very nice job. Youth Leader Sai Aishwarya, you had a flow in your speech. You had perfect eye contact and your stage movement was very good. However, I felt that you were fumbling on the stage, so please reduce that by taking time before starting the speech. Overall, you did an amazing job. Youth Leader Sadia Fatima, you were confident on the stage. You spoke in a flow. The only thing that I felt was you didn't have any facial expressions. You could improve that. Like you're speaking about India, so you could express more feelings and happiness. I would like to travel India. It's the place of many traditions and culture. Overall, you did a good job. And if you all follow my recommendation, you'll soon be euphoric speakers. Thank you. And over to Ms. Jagvali.
Thank you, Youth Leader Saksham Mittal. To evaluate our 5th to 8th speaker, please help me welcome Sadia Fatima.
respected Toastmasters, joyful parents, and dear fellow euphoric youth leaders. A warm good evening to one and all. Good evening. All the table topic speakers have done a tremendous job. So, table topic speakers from 5 to 8. I'm going to evaluate you. Are you scared or excited? Excited. Well, that means I'm a good evaluator. Our speaker, youth leader Mustafa Zia. Your topic was, who do you love more, your father or your mother? You understood the topic in a very short moment and started your speech without wasting the time. You adjust your content in a very impressive manner. Usage of stage was perfect. Some of my humble recommendations are, I felt you were missing the eye contact with the audience, which seemed you were nervous on the stage. Second, your conclusion was good, but you could have been more energetic and you could have elongated it more. Overall, you were great. Our second speaker, youth leader Fahad Amjad Kamal. Your topic was, what makes you happy and why? First of all, you understood the topic correctly. Then the way you narrated your speech was really great. Your voice was clear and was audible to the back. You were confident throughout your speech and you used beautiful humors. Some of my humble recommendations are, your conclusion was good, but you could have been more energetic during it. Second, I saw you moving in the stage all the time. Instead, you could have moved according to the paragraphs in your speech. Overall, you were great. Third speaker, youth leader Afifa Aftab. Your topic was, what do you prefer, true friends or $1,000K? The appreciable point is that you understood the topic. Then, you immediately grabbed audience attention, including mine. Your hand gestures were really perfect. Some of my humble recommendations are, I felt you were missing the eye contact with the audience. Second, you used the stage all the time, which caused disturbance to the audience to see you. Our last table topic speaker is youth leader Atif Aftab. Your topic was, where will you go if you get a chance to roam around? Your speech really caught my attention immediately, and I was very eager to listen to that. Your body movements were perfect. Some of my humble recommendations are, I felt you were rushing, which caused disturbance to the audience. Second, I felt you could have used the stage more effectively. Moreover, you all were great, and if you take my humble recommendation, you will be a great speaker tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, youth leader Sadi Fatma. Please help me welcome youth leader Mustafa Zia to evaluate our 9 to 12 table topic speaker.
Am I audible at the back? Yes. Respected general evaluator, youth leaders and lovely guests, good evening. Good evening. First of all, I request you all to give a round of applause for TD speakers from 9 to 12. Your topic was, what are the things in a person so he can be considered a good person? Your strengths were, you understood the topic well, you were confident on the stage, your eye contact was really good. In my humble opinion, you didn't utilize the stage very well. Then speaker, youth leader Ammar Yazdani. Your topic was, explain your first mistake in your life. Your strengths were, you were also confident and understood the topic well. You were very humorous in your speech. In my humble opinion, you would have added some general opinion in your speech. 11th speaker, Saksham Mittal. Your topic was, what is a thing that you will never regret in your life? Your strengths were, you were confident and you understood the topic very well. You added a personal incident in your speech. In my humble opinion, you would have utilized the stage more frequently. 12th speaker, youth leader Asad Khan. The topic was, is only money is needed to be successful. Your strengths were, you understood the topic very well. You also explained it very well. You had a smile throughout the speech. You would have utilized the stage more frequently. If you all will follow my humble recommendations, I think so that you will become a successful speaker in future.
Thank you, youth leader
Master Evaluation. Please help me welcome our distinguished Toastmaster, A.K. Das, for the Master Evaluation.
Mr. General Evaluator, Toastmasters and guests, good evening.
Good evening.
Less energy. Good evening.
Good evening.
Very nice. See, I have evaluated the total proceedings of the meetings, 4 areas. One, the role of the signage, how the signage has performed their role. Second, the international segment. Third, the topic segment. And the fourth is the evaluation segment. So I will go first, the best thing today out of these 4 segments. I just want to ask the youth leaders, which segment today you feel you have done the best? And which segment you feel you have done the best? Youth leaders have done the best. Which one? International. You ask me in the evaluation segment. I will give a big round of applause to all the. I was listening all the evaluators, and they follow a structured evaluation standards. The goals, analysis, strength, then the recommendations. And good analysis, because today the evaluator standards evaluating the international speech, the analysis, and the recommendations, which are very important. And all the evaluators, they have done really good. So this is the best part as per me. Now I go to the second part. Second part is the international speech segment. You know, when somebody give a speech on the stage, we say, any audience, if I'm an audience, I'm sitting, very good speech. But you ask me today, with all the speech I listened, in the end of the speech, I never felt myself. He gave me a good speech. So the evaluation of the international speech segment, you all have done reasonably good. Not to the mark. So what is lack in our international speech? The lack in this is 3 areas. See, look to the speech. Speech has 3 areas. Speech organization, speech content, and speech delivery. So if you look to the speech, I'll go first to the delivery part. The delivery has many things which you can see in the eyes. Many areas, for example, you already, the evaluators has already spoke, the stage movements. None of them. I don't find anywhere the stage movement, somebody has good stage movement. If I look to the voice modulation, which Dr. George has already spoke much on, I don't find many. For example, there is a persuasive. Okay, I'm coming to the international speech, whether it is inspirational or persuasive. For example, the persuasive speech, you want somebody to, for example, the food speech, you want somebody to donate food. So you have to bring that emotion. Somebody, you can, hey, you should donate food. Somebody will donate food. You will never donate. So you have to bring that emotions and sentiments of the people. You will feel, yes, I am wasting food. I should always preserve and donate it. So that sentiments you have to develop in the audience. So that needs voice modulation, which Dr. George explained in the last. So this is a very important thing in the delivery. You have to work the stage movement and the voice modulations. And third point is the pitch, the pauses. Okay, many pauses area, if I look, many of the speakers have done reasonably good. But the pauses on message questions, the practice, that was lack. Many people think I practice the speech, I am able to speak. That is not practice. Practice is how you deliver the word effectively. The same word, how you are uttering. You will listen 10 times, 20 times, you see that in one place it is much better. So the practice has no limit. So you have to record it, practice it in front of the family, friends, mentor, and they get more on this. So what I want to conclude and summarize, that international segment, whoever giving the speech next time and whoever has given the speech today, please see your video yourself. How you have delivered your speech and where you could have done better. Because you as an evaluator, you have done the best. Now you analyze your speech yourself. You can see the flaws where I could have done better. So work out of that. The youth leaders who are going to deliver the speech, work on this. 3 things. Content and all, of course, you are drafting and content part is okay. Content part I can okay, but particularly the delivery part, which is very important part in the international speech. Analysis, delivery, and the content. The point is the stage, how you are doing. Many stages I saw backward, forth. It's not good. And another important thing in international speech, when you are giving some statements, some message, you are talking. The message has no meaning. Message never touched to the people. So kindly work on this international segment. And I think I was talking to our coordinator, maybe the special practice session where you have to do more so that we can improve. We all mentors has to work hard on this, where we have to give a speech. End of the time, everybody should feel that you gave a good speech. That is what we are doing. See the person who delivered the speech. Clear with leaders? Yes. Now I will go to the table topic. Table topic is, I will say that all the speakers spoke. Whoever come here, he spoke on the topic. Many of them are with the topic. But certain things I want to say in the table topic. See, remember, you have got 2 minutes. Enhance the topic. Say more. Bring your personal story always. Your icebreaker speech, always remember what are the things you tell. Any topic, if I look to all the topics which you got today, you can relate with the icebreaker speech. Bring your icebreaker speech one so that in the body it will be more. And humor and everything will come. So your icebreaker speech always, every topic, your excited moment, everything bring from your icebreaker speech. Your siblings fighting, this and that, in that icebreaker speech. And 2 youth leaders, I want to really appreciate, who really done very nice in a structured table topic. If I don't know, tell me the name, I don't know the winners and all, but my personal one, the youth leader Saksham, and another youth leader Shura. Very good, please give everyone. One youth leader, he spoke very nice on that topic. I think youth leader Yadel, somebody, but he spoke very well. He bring humor, energy and everything, but he was casual. Be serious on the topic. Well, I think you are very nice way. You put energy, everything, but you are casual. Don't dilute your topic when you are stage. But very nice way of dealing the topic. Very good. Okay, now at second time, stay with the topic. Sometimes you are taking the stand this side and that side. I think yes, I just remember one. You take 2 stands. Don't take 1 stand. In football. If your father thinks, stay with the stand. Clear? Okay. Now I'll go to the assignment. Assignment is, my friends, all you have to do is that. You feel that today I am youth leader of the day. I did my best. Of course, the youth leader of the day, she has done very good job. Please give me a bigger round of applause. One more. I will attack the 3 major assignees. One is youth leader of the day, another is general evaluator. Just one recommendation I want to tell. When you are on the stage, you are reading the topic. Even no eye contact. Nobody is when you are talking. So you are speaking to the audience. Read it, practice it, and read it to the pauses. The people should understand what you are doing. And second, many assignees, when you are ending it, the closing part, why you are losing energy? Oh, okay. Over to you of the day, over to general evaluator, have with energy. The last part you are eating away, don't eat away. Okay? But then assignees, they have to improve. Overall, youth leaders, as I told in my first meeting, we have a talented youth leaders this bench. We expect more. You all did best, but we expect more. You know that in Hindi people say, "Dil mange more." So we want more from you. Do you all promise to do best? Yes. Wish you all the best. Over to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster, for a constructive and effective evaluation. Please give a thunder of applause to our distinguished Toastmaster, Ekada. May I please have the time report of this?
All are qualified.
So all evaluators are qualified. I invite Ward Master and Grammarian to come to the lectern to give his report, please.
Good evening. Good evening. As you know, the word of the day is euphoric, and surprisingly, many of you used it, but it was wrong by most of them. The speakers who used it are Youth Leader Yasir Ali Siddiqui twice, Youth Leader Shifali Muhpatra, Youth Leader Yelva Santosh, Youth Leader Murugan Sagar, Youth Leader Zohra Farooq, Youth Leader Richa Santosh. And the meaning of the word is euphoric. The definition is happy and extremely happy and excited. So one of the mistake is speech can be remembered as the euphoric one. Because, when you convert it, it will mean speech can be remembered as a excited one or happy, extremely happy one. That does not make a sense. So that's wrong. Note on creative use of language. Turn education into wonderful celebration. Don't go to school to get marks, go to school to learn. There's always a reason for every single thing. No one in this world has the right to waste food. One can think well. If one cannot think well, one cannot sleep well, then one cannot dine well. And list of imageries, new expressions, new words used during speeches are exotic, fatigue, or list of grammatical errors. I found it boring. I found it boring, not I find it boring. Said to me, not said me. Come out with flying colors, not come out with fly colors. I kept on eating, not I went on eating. My dad had done many things for me, not my dad had done many things to me. And hit or punched, not smash. And list of mispronounced words. Concert was pronounced concert, that is wrong. Refrigerator, not refrigerator. Euphoric, not europhic. Honest is pronounced with a silent H, and starving, not striving. List of repetitions. Times passed, 3 times it was repeated. Sitting together 2 times. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Salman Abdul for your detailed report. May I request our counter to give his report, please?
Am I audible at the back?
Yes.
Respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, and distinguished guests, good evening.
Good evening.
So my role as a general evaluator was to note down the sounds used as verbal crutches and unwanted pauses and fillers. It was a easy work for me. I want to specially say you guys that afterwards, don't point me that why you gave me this much and all. So it is just a note. At last, let's come back to report. Youth leader Shifali Mohapatra. Unnecessary words 1, pauses 1, total 2. Youth leader Abhilash John. Unnecessary words 1, word repetition 2, pauses 2, total 5. Youth leader Yelva Santosh. Unnecessary words 1, word repetition 1, total 2. Youth leader Yasir Ali Siddiqui. Unnecessary words 1, word repetition 1, pauses 1, total 3. Youth leader Y Kartikeya. And ups 1, unnecessary words 2, pauses 6, total 9. Youth leader Rohan PG. And ups 3, word repetition 2, pauses 3, total 8. Youth leader Rohan Joseph. Enough 1. Unnecessary words 2. Pauses 1. Total 4. Youth leader Sayyid Amar. Enough 6. Pauses 2. Total 8. Youth leader Richa Santosh. Unnecessary words 1. Word repetition 1. Pauses 3. Total 5. Youth leader Sai Ashwarya. Word repetition 3. Pauses 2. Total 5. Youth leader Sadia Fatima. Unnecessary words 1. Word repetition 2. Pauses 3. Total 6. Youth leader Mustafa Zia. Unnecessary words 2. Word repetition 1. Pauses 2. Total 5. Youth leader Fahad Amjad Kamal. Enough 1. Unnecessary words 2. Word repetition 1. Total 4. Youth leader Afifa Aftab. Unnecessary words 3. Word repetition 1. Pauses 1. Total 5. Youth leader Atif Aftab. Enough 3. Unnecessary words 2. Word repetition 3. Pauses 1. Total 9. Youth leader Salman Abdul Rahim. Enough 1. Unnecessary words 1. Word repetition 3. Pauses 2. Total 7. Youth leader Ammar Yazdani. Unnecessary words 4. Pauses 1. Total 5. Youth leader Saksham Mithal. Unnecessary words 2. Word repetition 3. Pauses 2. Total 7. Youth leader Asad Khan. And arms 7. Unnecessary words 3. Word repetition 1. Total 11. Thank you. Thank you, Youth Leader of the Day and Vice President, for giving me this award. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Youth Leader Syed Amar Hussain, for your detailed report. My dear friends, let us give a big round of applause to all these evaluators and assignees for their excellent performance. Now it's my turn to evaluate the overall proceeding of this meeting. Appreciable points are: the meeting started on time. All youth leaders did a good job. The word of the day and the theme of the day was very good. Few recommendations are: everyone was talking in between. Everyone was clapping slowly. You could have clapped loudly to encourage the speakers. Thank you, Mr. Vice President, Education, for giving me this opportunity. Over to you, Youth Leader.
Wow, what a constructive and encouraging evaluation segment, isn't it? Yes. So now I request all the speakers to follow the recommendations suggested by the evaluators. Will you?
Yes.
Now I request our vote counter, Youth Leader Bushra Shamim, to come to the podium and announce today's results. I also request our presiding officer and Chief YLP Coordinator Toastmaster Imtiaz Khan to come to the podium. And the coordinator of the day.
Good evening. First, we'll start with prepared speeches. No, it's evaluation. Best speech evaluator. Third place goes to Youth Leader Fahad Amjad Kamal. It is also shared by Youth Leader Saksham Mittal. Second place goes to Youth Leader Sadia Fatima. It is also shared by Afifa Aftab. Now first place goes to Youth Leader Sai Aishwarya.
All the winners should come in center. All the winners should come in center. Winners should come in center. You're not being proud, bro. Show your certificates.
Now, best table topic speech. Third place goes to Youth Leader Asad Khan. It is also shared by Youth Leader Sadia Fatima. Second place goes to Youth Leader Richa Santosh. It is also shared by Youth Leader Afifa Aftab. First place goes to Youth Leader It is also shared by Youth Leader Sai Aishwarya. For Best International Speech, third place goes to Youth Leader Yasir Ali Siddiqui. Second place goes to Youth Leader Yalva Santosh. First place goes to Youth Leader Shefali Mohpatra.
Congratulations to all the winners, all the speakers, and my dear assignees. Youth leaders, as we all know, participation is more important than winning. So I would like to congratulate all the participants who participated in public speaking, table topic, or evaluation segment. Dear youth leaders, a dream becomes a goal when action is taken towards its achievement. It has been an absolute pleasure, privilege, and honor to be your review of the day. Just remember, you can do anything if you set your mind to, but it takes action, perseverance, and facing your fears. I would like to thank all the assignees and everyone who has guided me and our team to wisely build this meeting. I would especially like to thank our presiding officer, Youth Leader Yasir Siddiqui, Vice President Youth Leader Richa Santosh, and Chief YLP Coordinator Toastmaster Imtiaz Khan for this wonderful opportunity. Over to you, presiding officer.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Youth Leader Saleha Shaheen, for conducting the meeting in such a marvelous manner. Please give Youth Leader Saleha Shaheen a thunderous round of applause. Now, I call upon our Vice President Education, Richa Santosh, to come. Call the coordinator of the day. Now, I call upon our coordinator of the day, Madam Toastmaster Kulkundas.
My dear courageous youth leaders, good evening once again.
Good evening.
Say good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. I thank you all for your successful meeting. Let us give a big round of applause for all the assignees and speakers. However, dear youth leaders, we all are here for the improvement. Whatever best you do, always here there is a scope for improvement. This can be done only through the practice in front of your mentor. Please kindly take the help of your mentors and give your best 100%. Remember what I had said in the beginning. JTC YLP 2018 is an opportunity to all of you to be a better leader, a better communicator, and above all, a better human being. So never wait for the tomorrow. What you can do it today. Wish you all the best. Thank you. Over to the president.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Kulkundas. Now, I call upon our Vice President, Education, Richa Santosh, to come and announce the assignees for the next meeting.
Good evening. Good evening. Here are the assignees for JTC YLP 2018 meeting number 6. Youth Leader Shafali Mohapatra, Speech Evaluator and TT Speaker. Youth Leader Abhilash John, and Speech Evaluator. Leader Syed Amar Hussain, Vote Counter and TT Speaker. Youth Leader Yelva Santosh, TT Speaker. Youth Leader Sai Ashwarya, International Speech. Youth Leader Sadia Fatima, Youth Leader of the Day. Youth Leader Saliha Sheen, International Speech. Youth Leader Muhammad Mustafa Zia, Speech Evaluator and TT Speaker. Youth Leader Amjad Kamal, Speech Evaluator, and Youth Leader Atif Aftab, TT Evaluator and TT Speaker. Youth Leader Salman Abdul Rahim, International Speech. Youth Leader Mohammad Faris Farooq, International Speech. Youth Leader Zora Farooq, Speech Evaluator and TT Speaker. Youth Leader Yasir Ali Siddiqui, Speech Evaluator and TT Speaker. Youth Leader Amar Yazdani, International Speech. Youth Leader Bushra Shamim, Timer and TT Evaluator. Youth Leader Saksha Mittal, Wordmaster and Grammarian and Speech Evaluator. Youth Leader Y. Kartikeya, TT Master and TT Speaker. Youth Leader Shaijan Ibrahim, International Speech. Youth Leader Asad Khan, International Speech. Youth Leader Rohan PG, TT Master and TT Speaker. Youth Leader Morgan Sagar, TT Evaluator and TT Speaker. Youth Leader Rohan Joseph Joshi, Joke Master and Speech Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Youth Leader Richa Santosh, for allotting the assignments. Fellow youth leaders, start preparation for the next week, for the next meeting. Get in touch with her. The only thing that is going to help you is practice. I wish you all the best. I also thank today's workshop presenter who enlightened us with abundance of information. Thank you, DTM Dr. R.J. George Uncle. Is there any business to be done? Having none, I adjourn and invite you all to with the dinner.
Thank you.